Amigos de Data Evolution, estamos aquí con Polina Golland. Ella es una doctora del MIT o tiene un doctorado en inteligencia artificial y trabaja con la parte electrical engineer. What's your PhD degree?
Electrical Engineering and Computer Science.
Awesome. Bueno, queremos preguntar a la doctora, porque estamos hablando sobre temas de inteligencia artificial, cómo se está manejando en el sector médico. We're talking about the medical issue in the clinics, how we handle AI today. And one of the questions that we have, y una de las preguntas es, radiology is the number one to improve with the AI. You think radiology is going to improve with AI?
So the current state of affairs is that radiology is the field that has benefited so far the most, and the integration of AI tools into the clinical workflow in radiology is the greatest. I think other fields will start catching up, but initially it makes sense because basically radiology produces images. So doing this analysis is very similar to computer vision applications of AI, which is where a lot of progress initially was made. And as a result, it's not surprising that the number of products that use AI is greatest in radiology compared to the other disciplines right now. But I suspect that as the field evolves, other areas will start catching up as well.
Ok. Uno de los retos es cómo se integra la inteligencia artificial a los flujos de trabajo. Y es una de las preguntas que tenemos, es the challenge of integration of the AI into the clinical workflows. How is this challenge is going to challenge the doctors?
So one of the biggest challenges is actually creating the products that support the physicians as opposed to interfere with their practice. So even if some tool is useful, if it creates unnecessary burden on the physician to use it, it's unlikely to be adopted. So thinking carefully about how these solutions fit into the sort of careful choreography of treating a patient is very, very important in integrating these solutions.
Okay, you think one of the challenges is the people?
Yes.
The doctors, nurses, ¿cuáles son los retos que tenemos con doctores, con gente? What do you think is the main challenge from the human aspect?
That there is an established pattern of how you treat a patient, and it includes interactions between doctors and nurses and other physicians, other specialists, and the patients themselves. And so disrupting that pattern usually is not a great way to integrate a new solution, but rather merging with it or enhancing it in some way.
Okay. Since we have talked about in this discussion, there are 3 points that you mentioned. The mismatch is one of the problems, data and annotation, and integration into the clinical workflows. The data annotation, which is how the doctors take notes and do the prescriptions.
That's right.
So, uno de los retos que vemos es cómo los doctores o algunas clínicas documentan manualmente los procesos. What is going to change with the AI if the clinics decide to change their workflows, the way they annotate information?
So I think it's less for clinics and more for people people like me who are interested in building solutions. We all need to be paying attention to the specifics of the medical applications and not just assume that existing solutions can be easily ported to that field. It has its own idiosyncrasies, and taking it sort of those idiosyncrasies into account, I think, is much more likely to lead to success than pretending that there is a solution that will solve all of the problems, regardless of what field they come from.
Okay, one last question, with 2 questions. The clinical floor, what is the main challenge in the clinical floor, and what do you see coming within the next 5 years? ¿Qué es lo que ves que venga en los próximos 5 años? ¿Y cuál es el problema que vemos en las clínicas al nivel de los estudios que se hacen en los propios pisos donde se trabaja con esto?
I think predicting the future is not my area. We identify difficult problems and try to bring the future here by building solutions for those. But I do think that basically the hospitals will become much more computationally equipped, more sophisticated, and using some of these solutions to relieve the pressure from the physicians and opening up some room for them to focus on complicated cases rather than doing routine minutia work.
Ok, bueno, aquí están los comentarios de la doctora Polina Golland. Gracias, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome in touch. Y gracias a todos.